right. We are here today for our Top Franchise Legal Player series, talking with Earsa Jackson, attorney with Clark Hill Law. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Oh, I am doing great. It is so nice to have you here. We are going to kick it off with let us know, how did you end up specializing in franchise law? What drew you to the field?
Really good question. So I was introduced to franchise law my second year of law school. I had an opportunity to clerk with my current firm, Legacy Strasburger and Price. We combined with Clark Hill to form the current firm, but I've been at the same place for 23 years. When the firm recruited me my second year of law school, that was my first introduction to franchising. My mentor was handling franchise matters, and I tagged along with her whenever I could. And I found franchise law very fascinating. That was my first introduction because, as you know, most law schools don't offer franchise classes. So it was an interesting area, and I just got deeper and deeper in franchising as the time went on. But I love the franchise model.
Excellent. Thanks so much. What do you think is the biggest legal hurdle facing the franchising industry in 2021 and going into 2022?
Excellent. Well, normally I would talk about kind of regulatory hurdles and compliance issues, but actually, I think the biggest issue facing franchise systems right now is joint employer liability. Um, the current state of things is kind of in influx. The traditional franchise model treated the franchisee as an independent business owner, operator. Franchisor provided the system, and the franchisee executed, handled hiring and firing, and the operations. With the influx in the treatment and the rise in joint employer liability issues, that's something that really stands to put a halt or at least a jolt to the franchise model. So that's certainly at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. So, what is the most common mistake that you see franchise brands making from a legal perspective?
I would say the most common is not ensuring that all of the personnel that deal with franchisees or prospective franchisees on the front end are properly trained. A recurring issue relates to unlawful financial performance representations. Much of that can be avoided with proper training, compliance, and refresher training, just to make sure that everyone that's going to touch that prospective franchisee knows what the boundaries are. I've been in franchising for many years, and it's just a recurring issue. And it can be a really bad thing for a franchisor to have to deal with. It's something that they have to report in that franchise disclosure document for the rest of the world to see. And so, if I had my top pick, it would be on the compliance piece and to make sure that everyone that touches the prospective franchisee is properly trained.
Very good points. What do you love about working with franchises?
I love getting involved with the business side of things and the intersection with legal. It is a fascinating area. I think that the franchise model, when it works well, creates a win-win for everyone. And I think that's what I like about it. It is a great way for folks to achieve that American dream without necessarily creating everything from scratch. So I think that's what I like most about franchising.
That's wonderful. We hear that a lot, that American dream concept. And I think that's a good point about franchising. Is it just the embodiment of the American dream for sure?
Yes, for sure. I mean, it's great where you can step in and you've got the support system there. It's a fascinating model.
That's right. All right. So, my last question for you today: what is one thing that you think every prospective franchisee should know before joining a franchise brand?
Well, I think it's imperative for them to know about the support system I alluded to earlier, the support infrastructure. The value of going into a franchise is that there is a pathway, there are processes in place. And so understanding that support system, what training you're going to get, is paramount. If that is not solid, you might as well start an independent business. So for me, I think that it's paramount that they understand the support structure because that's going to be the key to whether they'll have a successful business or not.
Thank you so much for your insights. That was just wonderful. We really appreciate talking with you today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.